Hey, Train Man's back. How you doing? Uh, this is most of the collection of my cameras over the years. So back to the 50s and earlier than that, maybe, in some of them. But wanted to show you these. Got single lens reflex over there, video camera here. This is an 8mm camera. This is another 8mm camera. This is a very professional Panasonic camera. Video. This is 120 film my father used. Two digital cameras, some of those Instamatic cameras there, and then this is a box camera. Now this one here, I don't know where this came from. I think it was my father's or my aunt's. Took pictures with this back in the 40s and 30s. This I took a lot of pictures with. This was a little, I think it used 126 or 120 film, and he took snapshots with that basically. These right here are Olympus cameras. They're very good cameras, film, 35mm. And this one here is the Instamatic. This one is the old disc camera. I don't know what that one is. It's one of them kind you just go. That's it. Look in there. Take a picture. Yeah. And now they got the throwaway cameras. This is a good Nikon camera here. Single lens reflex 35mm. This is a Canon 35mm. That's another Canon there. These are my two original Panasonic cameras that I use for my videos right here. And then I went into this one. And this one here is a 1950s Kodak. It's a really good camera. Takes great pictures. You cock it, you set the thing, you look through the viewfinder. That's it. Bellows camera, nice camera. Very nice. I've used that quite a few times. Now this one, I'll tell you about this camera. This is a Sears, and the brand they used was called Tower. Very zoom. Here he comes. He's coming. Nope, he ain't gonna come up. Okay, he'll be up there. A very zoom, and you can, that's your zoom, or you can run it by pushing the buttons here. It's mechanical. You have to wind it up. No batteries. And you push this down. Okay, now I got this camera for Christmas in 1963. I was 15 years old. And interesting thing about this camera is it's made by Bell and Howell. And Sears would always get their previous year or 2 years models, and they would sell it under their name Tower. And they changed the front face here and so on, and made it their brand. And it's a pretty heavy camera. It uses 8mm film that you have to go reel to reel on it. And you change the reel, you turn it over, you get half the film and half the film. So 16mm, and it's half and half, makes 8mm. And here's the thing about this camera. Today is the 19th, so tomorrow's 20, 21, 22. Wednesday is going to be the 22nd of November, and it's 54 years ago that Kennedy was assassinated. Now, you might have heard of this guy, you might not have, but the film is pretty famous. It's probably the most watched film of all time, and that's the film shot by Abraham ZAPRUDER, a Dallas dressmaker, and he had a dress factory, and he took off time for lunch, and he went over to film Kennedy coming through town, and he used a camera exactly like this, except it had a little bit different shape to it, different front on it and different shape, but the guts and everything are exactly the same. And this is a Bell and Howell, and so was that. And I got this one just a few months after Kennedy was shot. So I never realized it was the same until I started getting into it. Now, don't question about it. There's a part of that movie where Clint Hill, the Secret Service agent in charge of taking care of Jackie Kennedy, and he noticed something was going on. He ran towards the car, and as he's jumping on the car, it seems like the car stopped. And then at that second, the fatal shot, the headshot, came and hit Kennedy. And of course, that was what killed him, most likely. He's probably dead right there. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make out now, ZAPRUDER, he was doing this. He was holding it like this so he could control the zoom. And you can hear it running now. And now if I pull it a little bit further, you hear it go a little faster. That is slow motion. And I did it for, when I first got the camera, I wasn't used to it. This is a little stiff now because it's old, but if you know, clean it up inside, it's very easy to push that down and hit the zoom, or hit the slow motion. Well, let me see. By accident. Now think about this. You ever see somebody with a loud noise? They jump like that. How do you know? This is my theory anyway. It's just a theory. ZAPRUDER was taking a picture. The gun goes up. He just hits that for a split second. Boom. 3, 4 frames. 5 frames. Slow motion. Maybe a little bit more. And that's my theory on that slow motion deal. Nobody can ever prove it, but that's what I think happened. A couple of shots, a couple of frames there, hit in slow motion. And then later, years, you know, a couple of months later, my dad got me this thing that went on here. That control that, where you put that on, and you screwed it into the bottom here. Where's it? Before I did it real quick, and now I can't do it. All right, there we go. There we go. Okay, and you know, now I got a pistol grip, see? It's easy to run, you know, easy to work. Easy to work, and I ran out of wind already. You got to wind it up, you can tell on there. There was like a red. Gotta do this. No batteries. Didn't need them. All of a sudden, boom. Hey, you hear it? You can hear it through the mic. Now he's taking a picture. Kennedy's coming. Boom. Just that quick second. And that's my theory on that whole business of all these conspiracy guys, and the car stopped on purpose so the guy on the grassy knoll can shoot the gun and all that nonsense. I firmly believe that Lee Harvey Oswald did it solely for purposes of recognition. And why I say that is when I started reading about it and everything, he tried to shoot General Walker 6 months before this. Used the same thing. He shot at him. The bullet from the Mannlicher Carcano hit the bottom of the window. The window was open. He was doing his taxes, the general, and it hit the bottom of the window and deflected, hit the wall. Of course, Oswald took off. He hid the thing in the bushes, took the bus. Okay. 6 months later, he shoots Kennedy. He hides the gun, goes out the front door, takes the bus. Same deal. So that's why I'm thinking he actually did it. Okay, and now they didn't know when they found the bullet. That's a big ass bullet. It's about that long. When they found that bullet in the wall, they didn't know where it came from, because at that point in time there was no ballistics records given that I know of, especially for foreign-made guns. They're mail order. I don't think they had that. And since then, the laws have changed. But what happened? The bullet went on the wall, and then, of course, then they got the Kennedy bullets. They started thinking, hey, wait a minute. They knew that was a Carcano bullet. How many guys could have those guns around here? And they, they started matching them up. First thing you know, they found out that Oswald actually shot at General Walker and tried to attempt to kill him. So that's what convinced me when I heard that. That's what totally convinced me that Oswald did it. And everybody can believe whatever they want. But as far as what I was talking about with this thing here, as far as the slow motion, I think the flinch like that, bing, because it's a brand new camera. So when it's brand new, this thing is very easy to pull. And now it's a little stiff, it needs oil and whatever. But just that quick second like that, he could hit a few frames, and then he didn't notice it. He was probably, Mr. ZAPRUDER was probably like shocked like everybody else, and he didn't even pay any attention to it. But that's what I think happened. And anybody out there thinks that I'm right, well, let me know, because that's what I think. But of course, that's not going to bring Kennedy back. And he was beloved by this country, although a Democrat. I tend towards the Republican side, but I thought he was in one way he was a good president, in one way some ways he was a bad president. But they're all like that. Anyway, that's my collection of cameras. Couple of days before Thanksgiving, got the kids coming over for dinner. Going to cook them a nice dinner. And I hope you enjoyed my video. Hope you enjoy all my videos. And we'll see you again on the next video. And don't forget to subscribe. And thanks for watching.